Friedman, and today's class is the Cloud CMA class. We are going to be talking about importing a CMA, like we did this morning, into the Cloud CMA program. In this particular case, I've picking on Sean Ahern of Elite Pacific Properties. I picked one of his MLSs up of a property that he currently has for sale, and I prepared this CMA for I want to be a buyer. And you can see here's I want to, his name, highlight, and of course I fulfilled all of Hawaii State advertising law by making sure that my information as required under Hawaii State law is there, including my name exactly as it appears on my license, as well as my company. And it's not a requirement, but I also like to include ways to contact me, and so that information is all there. When I search this particular same plat area within Princeville, we see that there's one currently active the subject property is here, and then there are two comparable listings for sale. There's also a comparable listing with a contingent sale. And then as we go a little bit further, we've got two that did not sell, and we have four that sold. It's a very good quick CMA, showing that the average price of a home in this neighborhood is $657. The median is $677, not a huge disparity there, with the high being at $699, right? Of those properties that sold, they have sold between those were the list prices, the sales prices have been between $665 and $632, excuse me, between $665 and $575, with an average of $632 and a median of $644. As we look at the asking price on this one of $685, it gives us some indication of where we might want to be. We are looking back a year, and so luckily all of these sales happened fairly recently. We'd get pretty much the same exact thing if we'd only looked back 6 months, which is pretty positive. So being happy with this CMA, what I want to do is I want to move it. Now, a couple of quick notes. I don't want to include the subject property in my CMA, so I'm going to remove it here. Okay, and also, because this is a subject property, I'm also going to remove it from the comparable listings for sale. I just don't want it there. Now, we did have an opportunity just a few moments ago, Sylvia and I borrowed a photo from Sean Ahern, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not something you ever want to do. If this is a potential listing for you, before you go to your listing appointment, drive by and take a photo from the outside of the house. Or if you've had the opportunity to actually be in the house, you can take several photos prior to giving them a listing appointment. That's more typically the way I do. I meet them at their house, say I'd like to prepare a full CMA now that I've seen the house, you know, from there we can go on. And so you want to make sure that you have your own personal photos taken, just for speed and ease today. And to promote Sean's listing, here we are looking at this. So I removed that listing, and now I've got you know, a decent CMA. Once again, my general rule of thumb is between 3 and 5. I happen to be right in the middle here with 4 sold properties in the last 6 months. Although I am looking a year back, they all occurred since September of 2016. So we are, or excuse me, June of 2016. We're actually still within that 6 months, barely, with this sale by Danette of $665. So here we go, and we're ready to go. I've highlighted those ones that I want eliminated, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the More button. This button, very important. And now you'll see that I have a couple of options here in the cloud system. I've got a Cloud CMA and a Cloud Buyer Tour. We're going to talk more about the Cloud Buyer Tour later. You're actually going to see me click through this a couple of times. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take those that are not checked, and I'm going to check mark that to the Cloud, excuse me, to the Cloud CMA. That's the one above here. I apologize. To the Cloud CMA. I'm taking all of those that are not checked to the Cloud CMA. Now, for those of you that have never used Cloud, I'm going to take you to an area that you're going to see the first time. Basically, what I'm looking at is the settings that you will have. And when you first sign on for the very, very first time, there's a couple things that you should know. The first is that you will get a wizard. Obviously, I've signed on lots of times. I do use this particular Cloud CMA version only for teaching class for the most part. Occasionally I'll use it if I have to. We use Kristen's for actually preparing our actual CMAs. However, there might be one or two in here that are actual CMAs. You'll need to enter your information. Here you see first name, last name. Because I work as a team, I've kind of cheated that out a little bit. And it took a little while to figure out exactly where we were going to get the correct formatting. And that's one of the biggest issues you're going to come into with the Cloud CMA, is making sure that you're formatted. You want to enter your email address where you want to be contacted, and you can enter a photo of yourself. And unlike HIS, you can also enter a logo. It does not need to be entered by your principal broker, as in Hawaii Information System. Remember, Cloud CMA is a third-party piece of software. It's very good. And you'll be asked to choose a password. In this case, I already have a password, so I don't need to fill that in. A quick note about the logo. Please, please, please use a logo that's approved by your brokerage and that represents your brokerage. If you put over there Sylvia's, Stellar Real Estate, and you're working for another company, that could be a RICO violation. Regulated Industries Complaint Office is what RICO stands for, but a Regulated Industries violation. You need to only utilize the principal brokerage as the logo there. And so my company has a lot of approved logos. I think something like 18 or 20 of them. This happens to be the one I like. I like the green and gold, and so this is the one that I use. You can load those just simply by loading any file for either a logo or a photograph. Okay. Once I walk through that part of the wizard, it's going to just click you on over to the next part and get some information about your contact information. A couple of things that may be confusing. The BRE number should be entered by you. Though not a requirement to have your real estate license number on all on all marketing pieces, it is very, very, very important in my mind that you start entering it now, because it's very likely to become law this year. And so that'll require, changing of business cards and other things, but just stay on top of it. Enter your license number whenever possible would be my advice. The BRE number is a Bureau of Real Estate, and that's not who handles our real estate licensing. It's actually the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs Professional and Vocational Licensing Division that handles real estate licenses. However, BRE is a common nomenclature used in the mainland, particularly in California, and so that's why it says BRE number. So, well, you just simply add your number. I already have added my number. You can see here, BRE number 60394. And then you've got the web address and the email and the mobile address and your address. You'll have ability to enter all of these things by simply clicking down, and you can change any of this information if you so choose, right? So I've got, all of that information there, and show where the address of the, the office is, all of that information. Okay, you can also add your Facebook or LinkedIn accounts if you so choose. I haven't done that yet on the Cloud CMA. It'd probably be a good idea to put our business Facebook page and my blog number in there, but I haven't done that. And you can add designations if you so choose. So all of that information is there. You can also decide where you want these things. A very simple system. Simply by clicking, you can drag, your real estate number to the top, or if you prefer, you can drag, your email address to the top. Whatever makes sense to you. I actually kind of like the way they were laid out before, so just left click and drag it back to where it was before, and I'll put all of that back in there. Okay, makes it much easier to deal with. All of this information will be prominently displayed on your Cloud CMA. This is, of course, for the first time you sign in. The next is going to be your MLS. Currently, our MLS provider is Hawaii Information Service. Because you're accessing Cloud CMA from HIS, this is how it's going to show up. However, if you belong to more than one board in your drop-down menu, you'll have various choices. Okay, if you want to utilize this for the Maui board or the Wahoo board, you can. Your MLS user ID is a very tricky thing here. Because these are your credentials that are actually entered into the system, you must enter the TMK in capital letters. It doesn't accept the lowercase letters. It'll tell you there's something wrong with your sign-in. And so you want to make sure that the single sign-in utilizes capital letters. I know many of us are accustomed to entering them in lowercase letters. God, am I recording this? I hope so. Yeah, I am recording. Yay. You want to get that via the capital letters in there so that they're there. Of course, whenever you leave any of these pages, make sure you click the update button so that your changes are saved. Next, we go to custom pages. Custom pages is where you can, this in this case is John and Kristen's quick agent resume. But there's a lot of custom pages that are here. We're going to talk about adding custom pages later. This is not necessarily the time or the place to do it. However, if you want to go in and take a look at your company, in this case, I created this page by simply cutting and pasting from the company website the information that they had in there. And so it's a good piece of information written by the guys at my brokerage. And so I didn't write it. I just cut and pasted it and saved some time by doing that. Next, you go to the account page. This is very important. It says if you cancel your account, you cannot change it. So please do not. This is irreversible. Okay, you don't have to use Cloud CMA. You don't have to, but please don't cancel it. The day may come where you say, hey, I really want to do that buyer tour that John showed us, and I canceled my account. Can I please get it back? And they're going to say, no, you can't get it back. So don't cancel your account. Try and simply maintain the account that you have. And if you choose to use it, fantastic. If you choose not to use it, that is fine. Okay. Lastly, you'll see here that I did back in 2014 order an add-on called the Cloud CMA Power Pack. I think this is actually $109 or $119 now instead of $99. It was a one-time purchase. There are some things I like about it, and I'll show you where those are as we go through the system. You will not have access to those things. There's some things I don't like about it too. I'm not sure I would spend the $99 again if I had the option. But I utilize it enough that the few things that I do use, like the cover pages, probably worth it. It was a one-time charge and not a monthly recurring charge. If it were a monthly recurring charge, I would have canceled it long ago. Quick comment by me, you can tell I don't work for Cloud. I think it's a great system, by the way, okay? So our subscription is free, courtesy of HIS. That's probably the most important thing, okay? Next is a lead generation page. Spend some time here. If you're looking to have a landing page, right? You want to add a what's my home worth to your website. If you want to put it in Facebook or anywhere else, you can. Just by simply saying put it on my Facebook page, my Twitter page, my Pinterest page. Very, very quick. Watch the video and it will show you how to do that. It's a very nice landing page, free of charge, and I know that people charge a lot for landing pages. If you're going to use it on Zips on Zillow, here's your Cloud CMA API key. If you don't know what all this information is or how to use it, talk to somebody that's got a lot of computer savvy in your office that can assist you. Another couple other things that are available here. If you utilize Rated Agent ID, Reach 150, Kristen and I use Real Satisfied. We also use the Zillow screen name. You can actually put your testimonials within your Cloud CMA, and so that's what we do. We utilize our Real Satisfied testimonials within our Cloud CMA. I think it takes the last 5 or something. It doesn't take them all, but it does take like the last 5 testimonials. And of course, if you utilize something like Real Satisfied, you have the right to approve or disapprove of any CMA. So when you first sign in, it's going to ask you for all that information. right? Basic user information, how they're going to contact you, your login information, make sure you use that capital TMK, and then custom pages, it'll skip, I believe, with the wizard, and then, of course, you have those lead generation pages. I'm going to go ahead and close this out and go back to where we were. So now we're back to the CMA that we created for this property, Shauna Hearn's listing of Elite Pacific Properties, $685,000, been on the market for 74 days, and it's a good CMA. We've got 4 properties in the last 6 months that have sold. We also have some properties that didn't sell, some properties with contingent sales. I don't think we have anything under contract, but we do have 1 contingent sale, and so I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm going to go in and I'm simply going to say more button, take all those that are not checked, and remember I eliminated the subject property by checking it. So take all those that are not checked. You can of course do the opposite. If you check the ones you want, you can say take only those that are checked, but in my case I'm taking all those that are not checked to the Cloud CMA. Once you've signed on, you're going to get a page like this, and you're going to want to put your client's name in here. So I'm going to use I wanna, and I'm creating this for a potential buyer, right? And then you can just say, you know, these notes to self, right? You know, tired of paying rent. Whatever, right? You can put whatever notes you want in there. I want to needs to buy a home, tired of paying rent, okay? These notes to self will never be seen by the client, right? You can put anything else you want down in here. You know, high maintenance wife, right? These are notes to yourself, whatever you want, right? Very picky, okay? Never going to be seen by anybody else. There's some information about the subject property. You want to check that it's the correct address, right? You can enter a photo. Now remember, if you're doing a listing, right, you're definitely going to want to enter a photo of the listing, right? So you're going to go in, you're going to go to your pictures, you're going to go to wherever you keep your photos of your listings. I've got class examples here somewhere. ABC, class examples. In my class examples, I've got one called Sean's listing. I think I'm going to, Sean's listing. It's a photo of the actual property. And so I just, you know, chose that file, and there it is, Sean's listing JPEG, right? Then it asks you some information about the square footage of the property. I would never remember that, but luckily I can just simply from the top toggle back and forth to the actual listing. So I'm going to toggle back over, and here I see it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,310 square foot home, 3-2-1310, right? 3-2-1310. So I'm going to just fly back on over there. 1310, 1,310 square feet. All right, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Okay. Enter the information. It does not ask you for land size. There is some advanced info. If you're an appraiser, you're going to want to look at the advanced info. This is for a 4-column layout. It is not my preferred layout, so I don't really utilize the advanced info, but it is there if you want there. Now, there are, oh, how come my MLSs didn't come in over here? Ha ha ha, got a small problem here, excuse me. I might have to go into Explore. Let me just try this one more time. Let me go to the More button. Cloud CMA, all of those not checked. Wow, it didn't fill them in. Let me just pop us out of Chrome real quick and see if I can get into research via the via Explorer. So just bear with me for a second. Let me go ahead and copy this number real quick. Hold on one second. Darn it. Let me log out. Okay, let's go into Explorer and see if I can make this work a little bit better. This is a GoToWebinar interface issue, by the way, guys. Oh, shoot, you got to be kidding me. I don't have a password? Uh-oh. I'm not sure I know what my password is. Okay, let's forget that then. Let me see if I can, haha, I don't know my password. Let me try something. Oh, shoot. Oh, I think I know what it is. Hold on. Ooh. Oh, got in. Okay. Apologize. So once again, create a CMA. Go back 6 months. MLS number. Summary. Search. Okay, I knocked out a couple of my comparable listings that did not sell. Those are both in the last year. Let me modify this. Let's go back a year. Okay, now I've got some, yeah, now I've got that one that did not sell. So once again, I'm just going to simply check the subject property. And once again, here's that same subject property here. And now I'm going to say, take all of these that are unchecked to the Cloud CMA. Ooh, they're not showing up. Okay, that's a problem, you guys. I got a GoToWebinar interface issue that I've never run into before. So what I'm going to need to do here is, let me just go ahead and I'm going to go back to Chrome. I'm going to have to do it a whole other way, you guys, so just bear with me. Yeah, not showing up. So, wow, that's a bummer. That's the beauty of the system, is how quick it does that. I'm going to need to get a pen here and write some stuff down. So if you guys will just bear with me for a second, I got to find a quick piece of paper here. And okay, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down all of the comparables: 296136. 298795, 291455, 286131, 601182, 293714, 295186, 298257. Okay, once again, this is not something that you would normally need to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and do it today, but it should automatically import this information for you. You can, of course, simply enter these, but normally all that information will be there. It'll look something like this: 296.136 separated by a comma. 29. Put my numlock on. 298.795. Ooh, what happened? 298.795, comma 291.455, comma 286.131, .601.182. This also will enable you to add items later. 293.714, comma 295.186, .298.257. Okay, so normally this is what you would see when you scroll down. Sorry that I had to do that manually. It does do it automatically for you, and that's the whole purpose. If that's a GoToWebinar interface issue, you will not have that problem. I want you to know that there's two ways to look at these things. If you don't fill anything in over here, you just do the quick and dirty by proximity. I'm going to encourage you guys not to do that. Don't do quick and dirty by proximity. This is what your landing page will do if you have a landing page. And I'm going to encourage you not to do it. You'll get incorrect results. It's not utilizing your skills as a realtor. That's what separates you from just somebody. That's what separates us from Zillow, right? We don't just look at an area. This also will pull up listings that are condominiums. You know, we're very specifically looking for residential properties, so stay away from the quick and dirty. If you have what you put in there by MLS number, it will automatically look for those listings, and then you just click the fetch listing bar either at the top or at the bottom once your information is filled in. In this case, I'll check on the bottom here. It does take a moment to gather the data. By the way, you guys are free to ask questions at any time if you have any. It's just the three of you, Delane, Earl, Lynn, and Sylvia. Thank you for attending. Okay. Now we get this little report here with a little map of all the listings, and this is really good. The little purple house in there is the subject property. All the greens are active properties and include contingent properties. There's nothing under contract. I believe that's an orange color. And then there's all the sold properties are red. So this gives people an idea of where we are in proximity to the location. We're able to pull this map around. This does not appear anywhere, by the way, on your report. There is a way to add it. You could copy the whole page and then say create a custom page. The suggested list price is something that you can look at, right? So, you know, maybe in this case I'm going to put a range. Of course, as a realtor, you know that if you offer somebody a low end, that's what they're going to do, $650,000 to $685,000. You can always come back to this page after you've kind of looked at your system a little more, but hey, you know, to me that's pretty self-explanatory. You know, you're looking at the sold listings. The median is 650. The average is 685, and that's where I'm going to leave it, from 650 to 685 if you want to sell this property. Okay, and you can see that the list price, the median was 685, the average was 692. And you might want to push that up a little bit. Maybe you want to say, you know, 685 to 692 if you want a tighter one. All right. as soon as you tab away or click the update button, either way, the suggested list price will appear up above. You can decide whether or not you want to use the suggested list price at all, and you have that option later on. Underneath that, up pops a net sheet. I don't do net sheets. I'm afraid that I'm going to forget something like HARPTA or FERPTA, and my client's going to look at me and go, why am I getting $35,000 less than what you told me? I leave net sheets to the experts. I ask escrow to prepare one for me. That way I can say escrow made a mistake. If they make a mistake, I don't want the blame for that. That's not my area of expertise, and I don't want to be guessing at what the cost of different items are, termite inspection, termite tenting, and any of the items that might come up during an escrow period. So I let them do that. However, if you want to take a net sheet from escrow and put it in here, you can. You can add items by simply clicking on an area and then putting in the name of the expense. Pro rata property taxes, right? Will cost you, $2,200 or whatever. Right? So you can enter whatever information you want to, and then add that. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I don't really want to get into that information. Okay. As I go down a little bit lower, I see the properties. Now, when you do a Cloud CMA, you have two different ways in which you can present it to people. One is via a PDF report, a very nice detailed report, and the other is through a PowerPoint slideshow. I love the PowerPoint slideshow. However, I can arrange these properties in an order that makes sense to me, okay? And in my case, I like to do actives followed by contingents, followed by withdrawn properties, followed by properties that didn't sell, followed by sold properties. It will change the order. If I change the order of these, it will change the order in the PDF. It will not change the order of the PowerPoint presentation. In this case, I want my contingents to follow my actives, so I'm going to take that contingent property and put that down at the bottom here. Take the next contingent, bring that down below, and the next contingent, bring that down below. Remember, HIS considers contingent property still active. Under contract property is no longer active. You're no longer willing to show the property. You're no longer willing to take backup offers. I'm going to follow that with my withdrawn properties. Oh, is this the subject property? It probably is. That's all right. And we're going to go in and take this one. All right. By the way, because that's a subject property, if I want to remove it, I can. I just simply remove it, unchecking the box. Okay. It's a great place for you to look and say, hey, is that $1.395 million property actually similar? I might decide it's not, and I can actually take that 1.395 million. Where is that property? Just saw it right here, currently active on Convey New. You can say that's not a comparable for some reason. Look at the size of the house. It's almost it's more than double the size, almost triple the size of the home. It's also got 4 bedrooms. I'm just going to say that is not comparable. This vacant land here is not comparable. Wow, I got a whole bunch of weird stuff here. How come I got all this weird stuff? Something happened here. This is a condo. I got a problem. It didn't take my my entry. I don't know why it didn't take my entry. That's a condo too. Okay, I only have, okay. Yeah, I should only have 4 solds too, right? So here we've got some homes, detached homes. So for whatever reason, I ended up getting not a great report here. Not sure exactly what happened here. And once again, that's that GoToWebinar interface. So just so you know. This one I'm going to remove. It's not in the area that I'm looking. I'll take this one. This is the same area. Once again, you're going to have to rely on yourself to do this if you're not sure which properties are similar and which ones aren't. This one I'm going to remove. This one I'm going to remove. This one is fine. Okay, make sure you see that little gray box and drop it. And then this last accounting carry place is fine also. Oh, and Moley is fine too. Okay, so here we go. And make sure I get that little box there. And drop it. This was the quick and dirty way, and I don't know why it did not accept my my typed in. I will talk to them today if I can reach them. My guess is it's just a GoToWebinar interface issue. It didn't work in either Explorer or Chrome. I didn't try Firefox, but okay. So these are all properties that are similar. This one I'll take out. Non-similar. Not in the same neighborhood. This one not in the same neighborhood. Okay. So I'm feeling better about those. Once you have those, we have 4 actives, 5 solds, 1 withdrawn. Pretty good there. I don't know what I picked up in the actives. I did pick something up in the actives, or excuse me, in the solds that I didn't have before. That is there. I'm not sure why that is. I don't see any duplication anywhere. Okay. Once you've got these in there, which of course will go in automatically for you, you can rearrange them if you want. Simply click Customize Report. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back and say reset to the default theme pages. Let me tell you what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. All of this stuff over here on the left-hand side, you will not have. That's the Cloud CMA Power Pack that I purchased. And then also the covers, the designer covers, are things that that you won't have. Like I said, I really like the designer covers. I haven't tried the Lux covers yet. There's probably a charge for those 24 covers. I'm not sure whether or not they would be the ones for me or not. But these are the typical things that you would get. And I would suggest that you utilize these. First thing is a title page. I'm fine with leaving that there. The second thing is a cover letter. And you can, if you're using these for a landing page, do not change your cover letter. If you're using it to send to your client, you can go in and change your cover letter, and I oftentimes do. Here, the cover letter pops up, and then you have stuff that you can put in here. Because I think I've been using this for a landing page, I've left it pretty simple. We appreciate, by the way, this all says I. I went through and changed it because Kristen and I are a team, but we appreciate the opportunity to share our business plan in order to inform you. This is all boilerplate writing, except I probably wrote some of the stuff about 2017 moderate pace stuff, and a lot about home buyers. I like to do a lot of comparison shopping. It's especially right to price your home right from the beginning. This is definitely geared towards a seller. That's all right. I'm going to just leave it the way it is now. You can gear one for a buyer if you choose to, and you can put in information. When I do these for personalization, I'll say something about, Princeville, no place gives you a sense of place like Princeville, and your Princeville home should sell easily and quickly if priced right from the beginning. And you can put stuff like that in there. And so once you've done whatever changes you're going to make, you want to make sure that you just simply click Save. This is brand new. Custom PDF pages, haven't even looked at it. I will get in there and look at it at some point, but we're running a little bit behind schedule today. I encourage you to look at what some of those PDF files are. This is so you can upload your own PDF files. Upload a new PDF. If you want to upload a chart, for example, like I created earlier, you could upload that chart. Great way to get some information. Okay. Once you've saved that cover letter, you can simply go in and X that whole line out. It'll automatically be saved. Agent resume, That's up to you if you want to write it. I'm just going to remove it for now. I've left our company in there. Once again, I simply did this by clicking the edit button. Our company pops up. What I did is I went over and I just went to Kauai Realty website, Kauai-realty.com, and our web page comes up, and then on our, this is not my personal web page, this is my company web page, and then I went to About, and I said About Kauai Realty, and when I got to About Kauai Realty, I just copied all this information, just, right, not all that down there, but down to here, right, I didn't take it all, but I took a great deal of it, and then, right, and then, right, once I had that, I just said, okay, cut, copy, and then when I was in Cloud CMA, I simply went to that Our Company edit page, which is here, and I just cut and pasted it right in there, right? Right there it is. Then you can decide if you need to get something out of here. You can delete it, right? And here's all of my information that I want in there. It looks good. I can change the font size if I need to, maybe increase the font size a little bit. I got to highlight it first. All right, but you can do whatever you need to in order to change those website pages. Once you've done that, you just push the save button. I'm not going to save this. I'm going to use the one that was already there. I think I did a little bit more with it. And then you can just close it, okay? I'll go back to Cloud CMA. What is a CMA? Great boilerplate writing. I like the way it's written. Contact me, like the way it's written. Short sales and foreclosure is not a big deal anymore, especially not in that area. The value of your home, a map of all listings, a summary of comparable properties. You can put these the way you want. So one of the things, for example, is suggested list price. You can leave it out if you want. If you want, you just simply hit the negative sign. It goes back up to wherever it is over here. Or if you want it, you just simply grab it and bring it, you simply push the add button, and then once it's added in here, then you can move it where you want. I like to put the suggested list price up front and center. Hold on one second. So once this is up front and center, I can simply go in and the value of your home, I'm going to just put the suggested list price right after the value of your home. That way I don't waste all day. If I get to a point where I say, hey, this is what I'm suggesting you list your price for, and I say, I'm not going to take less than $1 million, I say, nice meeting you and good luck. Can I refer you to a good, competent agent that will take an overpriced listing? I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but I like to get people up quick. I like them to know exactly what I'm thinking. The listing section, you'll notice you can move the whole of the listing section around, or you can move things within the listing section. Within the listing section, they have details and the photos, the first dozen on one page. That's fantastic. I do not need more than a dozen photos, particularly if I'm printing this document. I'm going to remove that. I also didn't do any adjustments. This would be like adding for a swimming pool or a fireplace or something like that. If you are a appraiser, you might want to do some adjustments, but I'm not going to do that. Seller's net sheet, I said I'm not going to do that. Here's our marketing action plan. You can edit this, right? Go in, take a look at your marketing action plan. Takes a second to pop up, but here, right? Put up a for sale sign. You can see here that since I'm talking about a Princeville property, right? This is not allowed in Princeville, right? Not allowed in Princeville. If I was doing this for a buyer, I'm not going to include the listing information, right? Right. So I want them to know what we need to do, and then what I'm going to do for them. Okay. I've added some things. You can see those things. I put those things in the parens to let them know of exactly what's happening. Okay. So once that's saved, you can simply go in, close that out, and go back to the Cloud CMA. The marketing action plan, commission distribution, why you need a real estate professional, intelligent pricing and timing, first impressions are lasting, showings and open house checklist, and then I'm going to remove the moving checklist and the Reach 150 reviews. But I do want to add my real satisfied agent ratings. I'll add my, where's my Zillow rating? My Zillow ratings, I'll add those two in here. And I want those to be up more about where they're talking about me, So I'm going to say, hey, contact me. And where it says contact me, I'm going to put my real satisfied agent ratings and my Zillow ratings. Okay. Okay. It's up to you where you place these things, and you can move them around however you like. Next, you want to go over to that third column on the right-hand side. Okay. Now, I like to write my own headline, right? And so, even though I said this is for I want to be a buyer, I'm going to say that I wants to be a seller now. So I'm going to use the comparative market analysis. I'm going to change that to something more specific so that it speaks to him. Before I do that, I can look at the different themes. I currently am using a beach theme. However, if you're on the Big Island, the beach theme has this little palm tree here. You can use that theme. Or if you want to select a new theme, you just simply hit the drop-down menu, and you can look at all the different themes that are available. There are, if you work for, let's say, Coldwell Banker Elite, or let's see, do we have anything here that's, Remax has a whole bunch of them. Here's a Remax Accord Classic. I don't work for any of these companies, so I don't know if these are specific to specific areas or not. You can certainly have your own one designed if you want, but there's a lot of franchise colors. If you want black and gold or chocolate and teal or vivid blue and gray, you can. I tend to use the heritage scenes. I love the beach scene, but if I were on the Big Island, I might use the mountain flower because it looks just like a little orchid, right? Use this theme, okay? So now I've got the mountain flower. Next, I get to choose what the information layout is going to look like for me. I typically do a single photo with a photo with maximum information. Some people choose to, photo with max data. That's over here. Here's a photo with a map. You can choose either of these. I'm going to use the photo with max data. You can do 2 properties per page. If you're doing a whole bunch of properties, you can do a 4-column comparison, or a 3-column comparison, or a 4 properties per page. In this case, I'm just going to do photo with max data. I want to have a single page for each of those properties, right? You guys won't have access to this, but I like to use the designer covers. That's part of that CMA Power Pack. I'm using cover number 14, which is, what is cover number 14? Oh, it's a dog on the beach, right? That's fantastic. Maybe I'll do cover number 3 today, the starfish, okay? Once I have this information all done the way I want, and I've got this set up the way I want, I can simply add this as a, to save these pages. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to say, add a new report, right? And I'm going to call this, seller report, whatever I want to call it, buyer report, right? And then I'm going to say, save these pages. Whenever I want to come back to that, I can just simply click seller report, and it will give me this exact layout. So once I have a layout that I like, I can save it. And you can see that I've saved a number of them, right? I've got, my custom reports. I've got class example, custom, an E special, a JJ1, John's format, John's preferred, John's style, right? All of these are available for me to take a look at, okay? And then lastly, I change the headline, okay, to something for me that looks like I've really spent time on it. Iwana's beautiful Princeville home. Okay, so just something that, hey, this guy looks at this and says, man, this guy gave me a report, customized for me. It was absolutely gorgeous. Okay, once all of that is in there, I simply click publish a report. Oh, so here you can see I've got all kinds of I want to be a seller here, and needs to send his sale so he can finance his daughter's law school. You got, I do have a couple actual clients in here, but I got a lot of junk. I need to clean some of these up. By the way, if you need to clean things, it's very simple to do. You can simply go in and just say, hey, I'm a seller. go. I just send that. Okay, so they're saying that they've just improved the power pack, right? See how much. Tell them I want a free upgrade since I teach it, right? We'll see what happens. So here, if I need to get rid of one of these, I want to be a seller, I can just say delete by hitting the delete button. Are you sure you want to delete that? Yes, okay. Okay, now my report here, I want to be a buyer, is now done. Before I show you the PDF presentation, I want to go in and show you the PowerPoint presentation. You see the little present here? So as long as your client has internet access, you can just go in and you can click present, right? And boom. Now what's really amazing about this is the neighborhood, okay? This is the actual neighborhood where this property is located. Here's the address of his property. Nice little layout here. I can hit my F11 key and go, or is it F12? Let me see if I can figure out which one of these will take me full screen here. Get rid of this here. Hey, how come I won't go full screen? Hate that one. Oh, there it goes. F11. Okay, so now I'm full screen, right? If you send this presentation to somebody, you do need to explain to them. Let me take my num lock off of there so you guys don't have to mess with that. You need to explain to them the stuff on the bottom here. This is optimized for iPads. I'm on a laptop right now, but you can do it with your, your personal computer, their personal computer. Notice a nice layout here. It shows a picture of me and my business partner, Kristen. It's got, Kauai Realty Incorporated. It's got our photo. It's got a photo of the property, which is probably going to lay somewhere in the middle here. And then you have these little navigation tabs that you need to explain to them if you send it to them. If you're sitting there right in front of them and say, here, I'll send this to you later. This is how I do it. And you click over to the right here. Here's some stuff about us. This is actually a new page, brand new page. Never seen it before. Things that happen in a couple of weeks. But there you go. That's all right there. And then here's unbelievable, a map of all the properties. The purple is the subject. The orange is canceled, sold, and active. Here's where the property is. Here's the active properties around them. Right. Here's all the sold properties. Right. Very nice for them to be able to look at. Okay. You can go back or you can go forward. Right. Here's sold listings. Recent home sales can be your best indicators of what your home is worth. All right. And then here's some properties that are very similar to the property. This is 3781 Million McConney Place. God, is this the property that I'm looking at, I think. And then 3791 Million McConney, and 638 for this property. Now, if somebody says, hey, can you go back to that other Million McConney place there? Yeah, that one. That place is really junk on the inside. You can simply go down and you can click the down arrow hopefully I can get in there. You can click that down arrow and you get into all the photos here. Now, this happens to be one of the agencies that removes all their photos, which I'm not a fan of, by the way. Let me see if I can go back and get the other one here. I just don't like, I think all photos should remain. Personal opinion there. For those of you that work for Sean or Elite Pacific, he has a much different viewpoint of it. But I really believe that all photos should remain part of the public record forever. So here you go. Here you've got some photos of the property. Yeah, it's a little dated. It looks okay, though. It looks very clean. It is a little dated, though. You're right. Go to the next one. What does that one look like inside? You can go down. You can click on that. You got all these photos here. If you want to see more, you simply click the more button or you click the down button. Either way works. And you can see even more photos of the same property. Oh, nice hardwood floors throughout this property, right? Looks like it's well kept on the outside. Any information that you want. Gives them a really good PowerPoint presentation so you can show them all of these sold properties. Now remember, solds are coming first because you can't adjust the order of the presentation. You can adjust the order of the PDF. So the PDF will be in a slightly different presentation, right? Go through all of these properties. Here's the active listings. Prices of the homes that are currently for sale can be a good market indicator and should be considered when we determine the suggested list price of your home. All right, this one's at $699. Let's take a look at the photos. How does your home compare to this one? All right, you want to see some more? Absolutely. Go down and take a look at a few more photos. Right? We can go over, right? Here's 3812 Luna Place. I think this is actually the subject property, currently active. I didn't remove it somehow. And so that's because I've got the, right? So there's the home right there. Or we go over here, sold listings, go and hit the wrong button there. So let's go back to that Luna Place property. Went too far. No, maybe not. There we go. As we come across here, here's Moley Place. You can look at the photos on this property. All right. You can go up, come back over again. Active listings. Now we're into the active listings again. Luna Place. You can look at all those photos. We can go over to the next property or the next one. Wow, that's a two-story. What's that look like on the inside? You can simply click the photos by going down. You get lots of photos here. If you want to see more, once again, you can simply click the more or click the arrow. Either way works. And you get some more photos of the property. Right? And you can advance through these properties one by one. Kavea Nui, canceled listings. Right? Millie McConney. Here's a maximum price, $665. 1 canceled, 4 actives, 5 solds. Right? And so we get an idea of exactly about where the price point is on all of these. Right? Notice the backdrop on the back here. This is Princeville. Okay? This is the area that we're looking. Okay? As I continue on, here we've got a sold property analysis showing us price per square foot, ranging from ranging from 478 to 574, with an average price for sold properties of $501 a square foot. Right? The suggested list price, $650 to $685. Right? At this point, if they say, wow, that seems awfully low, well, let's take that 501 times your 1310. You pull up your calculator, you say, 1310 times, I just did a plus sign there. Let me go back here. Clear all this. Doesn't like me. I'll do 1310 square feet. Times $501. 656 is the suggested price based on the average sales price. Right now, if you have great upgrades, maybe we're looking towards the upper end of that. Looking back at our list here, 574 was the high. And you can always do that 1310 times 574 and get a slightly higher list price. Right. What are the next steps for you, Mr. Seller? I need you to sign and complete the listing agreement. I'm going to enter it into the MLS system. We're going to schedule a time to shoot property photos, and I'm going to begin my marketing efforts in earnest. All right? Never sold a house before. The commission's broken in at least 4 places if there's no referring commission. The buyer's agent and the buyer's broker are going to split the commission, and the listing broker and the listing agent split the commission. So I'm only going to get a portion of that half of the total commission that you're paying. Intelligent pricing and timing, I actually love this. This shows you that if you list your property at market value, you only get 60% of the people that are capable and ready to buy a home in that price range looking at it. If you price it at 15% below, you get 90% of the people that are able to buy that home looking at it. If you're at 15% above, right, you only get 10% of the individuals. It really is important. Okay, really is important that they know that being at market value or slightly below market value induces a greater chance of selling the home. There are agents, by the way, I'm not one of them, who utilize this negative 15% all the time. They say, hey, let's underprice the home and see if we can get a bidding war going on. Because it's such a strong buyer's market right now, that may or may not work for you. Okay, intelligent pricing and timing. The best chance of selling your home is in the first 2 weeks of marketing. I push that out and say it's in the first 4 weeks. If you want to sell your home, let's get it priced right from the beginning, right? And try and take advantage of the bubble in the graph. Okay, and then thank you. Now click here for the full CMA. I'm going to take a shortcut to the full CMA here. This will take us to the PDF. By the way, this is exactly how long it takes the client to open it. It's stored in cyberspace. You're not sending this PDF to them. And then, here you go. We've got the CMA with the little starfish here. I wanted this beautiful Princeville home. Here's exactly where the home is located, right? Little star on there. He looks at that and says, man, you did a great job. In this case, I want to be a buyer as a seller. And so we've written him a little note, aloha awana, right? We appreciate the opportunity to share our business plan. Place for me to sign the document if I so choose, right? If I want to hand it to them, my resume, which I thought I removed, some information about our company. What is a CMA? All boilerplate written. I didn't write this, but simply put, a CMA is a report used to determine the fair market value of a home based on local market data. It takes into account recent and pending sales as well as current listings. From this information, you can deduct, you can figure out where your home needs to be priced, right? Fair market value, I have a slightly different definition of fair market value. They say that's a price that a knowledgeable buyer and seller would agree on within a reasonable amount of time, usually 90 days. I say it's a price that a willing buyer is willing to pay for a home and the seller is willing to accept on the same day, but it's a very similar definition. I wouldn't necessarily change that. The CMA reports includes information about current local listings and other recently solds, right? So they can actually do this. I print this double-sided, by the way. Note every single page is branded with my information, my partner's photo there. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, real satisfied. I just grabbed the last 5 testimonials that we have. Last one, 10/25/2016. Zillow, bought a home in Kalihi, Kilauea. Kristen and John are simply the best agents out there. They're honest, professional, and reliable. They listened to what we were looking for and found us our own perfect piece of paradise, right? So great little testimonial, right? Okay. There should be 5 of those too, but I'm probably not pushing Zillow hard enough. I'm not a fan of Zillow, so I don't push it hard enough. The value of your home, your location, the price, competition, condition, and current market value, and current market, that's what's going to do it. Here's my suggested list price. Remember, this might be where we walk out of the room, right? If he says, hey, that's just not going to cut it for me, well, I don't really want to list above that point. Thank you very much. All right, here's a map of all listings, right? Shows them where the property are. Summary of comparable properties, sold date, and those that are still active. Okay, so they can see, hey, this one sold, square footage 1310 for $575 on November the 4th, right? Same size home, right? I'm saying that because of your upgrades, you might get as much as $100,000 more. If you want to go above that, I'm just really not that interested, right? Property currently for sale. Right, $699, all the listing photos, another property, all the listing photos, got the little mountain orchid at the top, and on and on and on. Okay, big report, very professional, very polished, very good looking. Now I will say one thing, it does not correct other agents' spelling, okay? If another agent misspells something in their remarks or has bad pagination, you're not going to fix it. And so that's just something for you to be aware of. You should always review any document like this before sending it to anybody. Comparable statistics, sold listings, active listings, withdrawn listings, sold property analysis, list price to sold price ratios, price per square foot of sold property, once again that 501. Our marketing action plan in hard copy rather than in a PowerPoint type presentation. Why you need a real estate professional is, of course, boilerplate writing by the people at Cloud. Very well done, very well written. Okay, go a little bit further. Commission distribution, not quite as nice of a image there, but not bad. The intelligent pricing and timing triangle, and the best time to market your property. First impressions are lasting. Once again, great information, right? Curb appeal is important. Most buyers make a decision about a house at first sight. And then what I need you to do for open house checklist, right? And that's it, right? And I'm ready to go. So it's a very, very nice presentation, and you can add or subtract anything you want. Let's go back and talk about adding a custom page. If I'm in here and I want to add a custom page, Iwana looks at me and says, you didn't say anything about this being in a VDA. I simply go in and I edit this property right here, right? And then I can go in and I can simply, from the settings page, right, I can go in and I can say, look, I want to look at custom pages, all right? When I hit the drop-down menu, I actually have something about a VDA area that I can include, right? It's obviously just a placeholder, but VDAs or visitor destination areas are areas that have an extra stick in their bundle of property rights. That's the right to rent your house by the day, hour, week, or month, right? And so you can put that in there. Just makes your property more expensive to purchase from the get-go, but also makes the ability to resell it greater. So you can put all that information in. So if you have very specific information, you can. Once again, you can find a custom page or you can create a custom page, okay? You go down, let me see. Let me go ahead. How do I get that custom page in here? Let me go back to where I was. Close this. Let me close this one down. Let me go back here. Ooh. Stay. Somehow I got off my custom page here. Oh, here it is. From the custom page, you can simply say create a page, right? And then you can enter a name for it. Why use us? All right? Question mark. All right? And you say, okay. And then you get a new page, why use us? And you can say, teams are the way of the future. ... Why? Colon. Because, all right, the more the merrier. Whatever you want to write, right? And once you have saved that page, you can simply go in and save it by clicking at the bottom of the page. Save. You now have one called Why Use Us. All right. When you're back in your CMA and you're looking at this and you edit this, you can simply add a page by going to Customize. All right. And you go down to where it says additional add pages by custom pages section. You go down to where it says why use us. Here's why me, but where's my why use us? Why use us? And you just simply add that to your page. Now it's there, and you can leave that at the end if you want, or put it at the beginning. Right? Once you've done that, you simply say publish, and it will republish the report. A couple other notes about publishing. Every time you publish a report, it will put the new date on there. So if I go into one of these older ones, and I view, I'm a seller down here, and we look at this particular report, we'll see that the date on this is May the 27th, 2016. If I republish the report, it's going to change the date to today, making it a very polished looking piece. Okay? You can change it to, prepare them in advance, republish them right before you go, and your date will be on there. Okay. It's kind of a quick lowdown on this system, and once again, the biggest problem that we had there was that we just had some information there that wasn't as good as I would have hoped. Let's go back to, let's go back to research here. I'm going to go ahead and close out the CMA pages here. And now I'm going to go in, I'm going to modify this. I'm simply going to go to search for listings, And Daddy Big Bucks is in town. He wants to go on a tour of a couple of houses. I'm looking 4-5-4, and I'm going to look for currently active property, residential. Let's get rid of this. Residential active 454, and we're going to say that that property needs to be priced between 1 million and 1.3 million. All right, and so let's see how many we have. I've got 9 listings. I want to create a buyer tour for this. I simply say, great, I search now. All right, once I've got all these homes in here, please do this for me. Click more and say, take all of those that are checked. Say, just take the whole page to the buyer tour. Go, baby, please. There they are. That's what's supposed to happen. You see how the MLS numbers dropped in there? I don't know why that wasn't working before on the CMA. I will call them and let them know that I ran into that problem. There they are. Let's put in our client, DB and Mary Bucks. That's right. DB and his wife, Mary Bucks, are in town. Notes, DB is finally getting serious. All right. And then we say fetch listings. Okay. We get a quick little buyer tour here. Oh my God, what is that? Okay. Here we have the property here. Here's all of these properties, right? I got a low of 1,025,000, a median of 1.195, a high of 1.290, and we start making our phone calls to these people. And I can't get into Nalani Lane, and I can't get into Albert Road, okay, unfortunately. But the rest of these I can get into. But Emalani I have to see first thing in the morning, all right? And that's going to be followed by this Nalani Lane property, all right? And then, unfortunately, I can't get into the Punahele Road property until the end of the day. So I'm going to put that at the end here, right? And so we're going to see these 7 properties that range in price from $1,025,000 to $1,199,000. And so now I'm going to customize the report. I've got a quick little detail here. I've got the title page, contact me, the home buying process, right? Buyer comment sheet I love, first dozen photos on one side, mortgage and payment information for each property, and I can put in area restaurants. I'm going to keep the area restaurants in there, but I just want you to realize it's going to be redundant in the report, okay? I'm going to use the beach scene, the photo with a map, the font. I always use the theme default. If you do everything you do is in Bradley hand and you want every email you send, everything you write, everything to be in Bradley hand, you might want to change it. I leave it to marketing people to decide which font goes best with each type of marketing layout. I've got a cover on here which I can change. Let's see, what cover am I looking at here? Yeah, I got my starfish there. Buyer tour. Maybe I want to change to something that's, I know that DB loves his dogs, so maybe I go to this one, right? And then I'm going to change the headline, right, to DB and Mary Princeville home showings. Yeah. Oh, helps if you spell that right. Right? C-H-O-W, okay? And once I've got that, I simply go fantastic, publish the report. Now, let me tell you a little something about the buyer report. It just now sent to my telephone a layout of this buyer's tour. So while I'm on the road, I will have received an email. Let's see if it's come in yet. Might not be here yet, but not there yet. It'll come in, and when it comes in, it's going to have a little layout, so I can, there it is, here's my buyer tour. So when I'm on the road, here's a quick link to my report from my phone, but as I'm driving around, I go, God, where is this Kamalani Lane? If I click on it, right, it's just going to give me all the information I need while I'm on the road. It's going to show me where the heck the property is so I can find it. Super, super nice, you guys. It's so good that I can just click on that and go, oh, good. Now I know where I am. It's off of Imilani. Now I know where I can find this Kamalani Lane. Particularly good if you're not familiar with an area. It gives you those directions. And if you want, of course, you can simply ask to have it navigate you there. So it's really, really a nice way to go. The fact that it sends those to you. Going back to the report, here we go. Let's take a look. You can send it as a presentation to them. We'll talk about that in just a second, how you send these things. Right? Boom, love this. Let me hit that F11 key, go full screen. Oh, I hit something wrong there. Uh-oh. Okay, so now here it is, and here's a couple of the homes we're going to be looking at, right? These are actual homes that we will be looking at, okay? And I can go through, here's the properties, so they can take a look at exactly where the properties are, right? All adjustable. Here we go, here's the home number 1, right? We go through here, hit the little arrow, home number 2, right? Here's a bunch of photos on this home. Here's this property. Rate this property, right? While he's on the road with his iPad, he can say, I love this. Mary said it looked like a jail. I guess that means no. Right? You go on, they can save their comments, right? If you want to get in here before they look at it and write comments about, I think this is a great value, you can, okay? Here's the next one, you go down, look at the photos, here's a rate the property. If they want to rate it, they can write a comment, or they can just simply say, hey, this is 5-star, this property is 5-star, I like this one, right? So you can go in and you can look at it, you can look at all the photos of the property, you can see more photos of the property, right? All of this information right there. They can rate or comment on the property, right? Here's Mahina Place, here's Kamalani Lane, right? Not really want a 2-story, but let's take a look at that. And then you go in here, here's a no expense spared in the building of this thing. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Well, I like that cabinetry, really unique, right? They can tell you what they think of any individual property as you look at it. And you can go through this, and this can be sent to them, right? Enter your email address below, and we'll send you and your agent a full report with all your notes and ratings. Somebody walks into your open house and you have this report or this presentation ready for them, you can send that buyer tour to them, right? You know, if it's a referral, you can send it to their agent, whatever you want, okay? So you just enter their email address and go, okay? So we're their agent. If they put theirs in there, they'll send them all of your notes on the property, okay? Very, very nice, neat system. I want to talk a little bit about what we can do with these reports. We can email this a number of different ways, right? I can just simply say, hey, send this to DB Bucks, right? Or I can just have it pop up in my email, right? So just boom, right? So the way I always do this is, of course, I just go in and I copy this, all right? Actually, I cut it, all right? And then I say, Daddy, comma, here is the schedule and descriptions of our upcoming Saturday Lawrenceville home tour. Take a look and let me know if you have questions. Right. And of course, I spent a little more time on it than that. And of course, I'm a very poor typist, as you've all discovered by now. Right. And then I say, and then I just say, insert, hyperlink, paste. Okay. And so now he just clicks on here, and he'll take him right directly to the property. Right? So pops open a page for him, and then boom, there it is. Here's the buyer tour. Right? Here's his dog. I know he loves dogs. DB and Mary Princeville's home showings. Right? DB and Mary Bucks. How to contact me. The home buying process, negotiating, monitoring, map of all the listings, the property details, the listing photos, the buyer comment sheets, and this is something that I print and take to them, and they can actually write in their little portfolio here. I double-side everything, by the way. Here's this great loan scenarios. What if I put 20% down, right? Then 30-year fixed loan, taxes of $507, insurance of $78, total of $5,185 per month with 20% down, $54.62 with 15% down, $57.49 with 10% down. If you want to do a 3% down loan, you're talking $61.78 a month. Right? I'd rather save my money and pay higher monthly. Here's those quick things about local restaurants. All right. Really nice. You can actually, now remember, this is going to be, for each property, this is going to be duplicated because I've added it. There are ways that you can actually print this separately, but when you get in here, if they want to know, okay, well, what exactly is it? What the heck is Kaylee Poke? It's a seafood truck. Okay. Maybe we want to go to Hideaway's Pizza Pub. What does Yelp say about Hideaway's Pizza Pub? They simply click on it, and it will immediately take them in there, and they can get a review of the thing. This place is completely walkable from the St. Regis. It's worth the trip. Love this spacious restaurant, comfortable and casual atmosphere, right? And some other things in the neighborhood, okay? So very nice. You can actually get right in there into your Yelp stuff. So when you email this, right, you can email the manually, custom, or simple. Those are all available. There's also other ways to share this presentation. You can simply say share, and from the share, there's some direct links. The QR code we'll talk about with property flyers. We're running a little bit out of time here, but we'll talk about that just momentarily. But if you want direct links to your presentation link or your PDF links, they're right here, right? So you just copy this link. You can either use the short one or the large one, right? You save the link or copy the link, and then you just stick it in your email, right? New email, class example. Class example, and then send it to yourself, and you just say, here it is, right? Here it is, boom, insert hyperlink, boom, paste, boom, okay, and then you send it, right? And once that's sent, it's there, okay? It'll come in very quickly. Might not quite be here yet, but there it is, right? And then he just clicks on here it is, and boom, there you go. Goes directly into the presentation mode, and they've got it right there. They can look at it, very fast, easy, simple to do, okay? Other things that are available within Cloud, very amazing system. One of the things that you can do from Cloud is you can certainly go in and create property flyers. Let me pick on somebody here real quick. Go into research here. Let me go to the home page. Let's take a look at a new listing here. 621,000 Pili Maya Poi Poo. listed by Daniel Schmidt. I decided, okay, hey, Daniel, can I sit open house in your listing? I'd love to start selling some property over there. He says, sure. So I'm just going to go in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to take this number here, 602572. I'm going to copy it. Right, copy, right? And then I'm going to go into Cloud CMA, right? From the top here, I'm going to maybe create a flyer for myself, right? Now, I can do a property report. Once you've done a property report, create a new property report, right? I'm just going to put this in here, you know, great home brand new price right, right? Boom, right? I just put this down here, you know, Daniel's listing, right? He says, go ahead, John, you can go ahead and do a open house at my place. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a property report. I'm going to say fetch the listings, right? And then I can decide what my property report is going to do. Here's the information on it, right? I'm going to say, okay, customize the report. I got the title page, contact me, my real satisfied ratings, my review ratings, the listing photos, first dozen, the schools, the area restaurants, the comparables, the online valuation estimate, and mortgage and payment information. Love it, right? If I want to add any of this other information over here, I can. If I want to add you know, information on auction properties, VDA, short sales, any of the other information I have, I can. Any of the custom pages I've created, I can add those. And then I just say publish the report. Okay. Once you publish this report once, it will always be your report format. And this is really important because you don't have to do this. Okay. You don't have to do this report very often. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my flyer. Right. And I'm going to create a new flyer. Okay. And here I'm going to just put the address of the MLS number here. I'm just going to say paste. I'm not going to put a client name or notes. I think it'll let me do that without a client name. Oh, I got to be a client name. I'll just put a Daniel's listing. All right. And I'm going to say, okay, fetch the listings. All right. And he's allowing me to sit here. Here it is, 621,500. I can actually change his remarks here, right? It's not all going to fit, right? And so you do have some things here where when it comes in, it's got some unusual breaks here. Each unit includes a separate private garage, central air conditioning, some of the lowest monthly fees on the island. Take out the paragraph break here. All right. The Mahina plan, take out the F, whatever that is. Boom, 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 boom. Here's a ground floor, single level unit, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath with an internal access from your own private garage. Take all this out. Boop. Delete. All right. Delete again. Nearby walking and biking trails. Close to world famous Poipu beaches. And Hawaiian cultural landmarks. Period. And then I'll just delete everything else out of here. Okay, this is where you can put whatever information you want to put in here. It's up to you. You can put anything that you want to put in here so that it makes sense to you. This is now our comments here. And then I say fantastic. We're just going to say update, and then we're going to say customize the report. Okay, here it is. I'm going to say publish the report, the flyer. Oh, I want to go back here. I made a mistake. It's publishing. I'm going to go back and edit this. From the flyer, we're going to go into the customize section. Sorry about that. And here we get a chance to look at the different themes. Here's the mountain flower. I'm going to go ahead and change that to the beach scene. All right, I'm going to go in and say, okay, let's use the beach. scene. Okay, I can use a for sale wagon, or there's all kinds of different scenes there that I can use. Here, oop, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, look at the flyer layout. I can look at what type of layout I want. I'm using layout number 7. That looks great. I'm happy with that. I'll close that, and then I'll say publish the report. So now that this is done, I now have a flyer, and I put the MLS mid, by the way, on the back of all these flyers to get all the details about the property. But this is a really nice, polished looking flyer. The couple of things about this flyer, one is that, let's go ahead and view it. You've got the flyer, it's a one-page flyer, and notice that there's a QR code at the bottom here, right? So here we've got all of this stuff about Pili Mai, offered for $621,500. It's branded with my information. I'm sitting open house day. They're going to call me on this property. They're not going to call Daniel. Here's the address, Kihuna Plantation Drive. There's a little bit of a pagination issue there, but that's all right. And then if you want, you can tell them, hey, if you need more information, just scan your QR code. If they click on the QR code, they're going to get the full property report that we created earlier. It has the flyer at the beginning, the property report, the listing photos, how to contact me, area restaurants, right? Recent nearby sales, showing how much things sold for in the neighborhood, right? Online valuation estimates, right? Loan scenarios, okay? All really right there, and everything is branded with my name and my logo, so that that's ready to go. I can have one of these available at the open house. When I'm there, if I want, one of the things you can do with sharing is, and when I do these for my own listings, I actually take a copy of this QR code. I copy the image of the QR code, and then you go to one of your local office supply houses and you get QR code paper. It's exactly this size, you guys. It fits on the back of a business card, or you can stick this on your sign or your take one box. If your take one box is empty, they can just simply click on it, right? Very nice. They can, scan it with their phone and get the full report. And if you're at an open house and you have a blank back to your card, you can say, hey, there's a full property report on the back of the card, right? So if you printed 100 flyers and you had 150 people come in, the last 50 people, and you don't have anything, at least you have that QR code ready to go. You can say, hey, you can just click on the excuse me, scan the QR code on the back, and you're done. A lot of information, 10 minutes overtime. Questions from any of you, Delane, Earl, Lynn, Sylvia? I know it's a lot of information. I apologize. Fantastic system, by the way. I really like this system. Can somebody raise their hand just to tell me that they're still with me? Hopefully. Oh, thank you, Roland. Any questions from any of you? I'll hang out here for a little while if you have any questions. Thank all three of you for hanging out here. What a way to start your holiday weekend. Okay, got a question from Sylvia. Can you adjust the photo quality for the PowerPoint presentation? The answer is you can try. You really cannot. The photos are really just taken directly from there. I don't really know of any way to adjust that for the PowerPoint presentation. I wish I did, but I don't know of any way that you can adjust the quality of the photos. Sorry, that was a great question, and I will forward it to them, but I don't know of any way that you can do that. Sorry. Any other questions? Poor Delane. I know Delane gets caught up with transaction management, and she may be away from the screen for a bit here. Sylvia, any other questions that you might have? I mean, I'm more than happy to respond to you if you have any other questions. Just to give you a quick idea of how good the system is. I mean, any one of these properties, you can just view it, right? This is a property that we have in escrow right now. Just very clean little brochure. It's super good. Somebody clicks on the presentation here, then they get, here's all the information for them. Shows them right where it's located. This is an ocean view property. You can kind of barely see the ocean from that photograph there. And here's some, area photos of things in the neighborhood, from the mountains to the ocean, right? It's got the listing photos. It's got the area restaurants, right? It's got recent nearby sales, so people really can see what things are selling for. It's got, this estimate on this property is $466,629. We've got it listed at $469. I hate Zillow generally, but this time they're actually quite on the money, with a range of $433,965 to $499,293. Right? And you look at what happened to the property. I mean, it's really, really crawled up from 2012 to today. Loans, at least through Zillow, and then there's the loan scenarios, right? Vacation rental property, people would love to see that. It is optimized for the iPad. Can you make the screen size different? Yeah, you probably can. And I think that would be an internal computer question, Sylvia, and not really a question about, you can't really change. I mean, I changed my screen size by just hitting that F12 button, right? But I could always go in and adjust my, the way that my screen looks, by going into, different areas of my computer to figure it out. If I needed to go in and go to my computer and figure out how to adjust the screen, I could, but I'm not real comfortable with that. So I mean, it's something I could do, but I just, I'd be a little hesitant myself to do that from the control panel. But I certainly could go in and say, hey, color management, device manager, get into my device manager, and talk about the imaging devices or the monitors, right? From the monitors, I could certainly go in and here's what I'm at, but I could change it if I needed to, right? And so this device is working properly. Details, right? That's not where I want to be. I'm not good enough with this stuff to know, but if you have somebody who's really good with the display adapters and how to change displays, you probably could figure out how to do that. That's not my area of expertise. I apologize for not knowing how to do that. I'm sorry I'm not more help in that regard. I am not an iPad user, so when they say optimized for the iPad, I'm not sure what comes out on the other side. The PDF version is probably better to use. Yeah, for me, I actually like the PowerPoint presentation, but for a lot of them, I prefer the PDF. I always print the PDF. I do a binder. I've got one of those machines that melts pages together and does a really nice covered binder. It doesn't take me very long to create a nice document. It takes a little while. It's hard to get it all in 2 hours here, but if I have a serious client looking at $1 million property, I have no problem spending 2 or 3 hours to make sure that I've got a really nice presentation for him to go look at home. If he's looking to sell a home, same thing. Nice presentation. Here's a great little thing, and then I can run through the PowerPoint presentation, while I'm there without him having to look at it, and then say, hey, all this information's in that binder in front of you. You can follow along with me in the binder or whatever you want to do. But I like the PDF version, but I also like the PowerPoint presentation. I've had very good luck with it, with the PowerPoint presentation. And I think it just makes people go, wow, particularly because of the photos of the property in the background. I think that's really a big thing. With that said, I'm going to stop the recording so we can start